The fuck am I looking at? This thing is 27 minutes long. I'm not sitting through this. The fuck is RDC making, bro? What is this league? What is that? Let me see this.
As the face of Marvel,
Face of Marvel, mother.
Honor and privilege to inform you guys that for the first time in history, both Marvel and DC have put their differences aside to achieve a common goal: a hit movie.
The fuck?
Anybody got any bright ideas?
I think we just need to coordinate our attacks. Focus on one enemy at a time.
Sounds good.
That shit's not gonna work.
Huh?
What?
Because I
Come on, back.
work alone.
All right, bro.
How you gonna beat Thanos, Darkseid, and Dr. Doom by yourself, Batman?
Prep time. Cap.
Nigga, you can't prep for people that's already here, Batman.
No, you can't prep for them and they are here. I stay prepped for everything. Actually, I started prepping the second y'all dropped Endgame because I knew y'all were gonna fall off and call us. Did I not say that? Superman.
Yes, you did, but like, come on, we gotta work with them right now. This is like a
Work with him.
yeah, it's a serious moment. Like,
Come on, Sims. I knew you would say that.
I'm just saying.
Oh shit.
That's just a green rock, bitch. Get your stupid ass up. Get up. Are you serious? Getting dropped by a placebo effect? That's why I work alone and stay prepped.
Man, so you telling me prep for all three of them?
Yes, Reed. I'm telling you, I stay prepped for everything.
What
So
you
I
gonna
thought
do?
about the situation. If Marvel calls DC, what's the worst that can happen? Oh, I know. Darkseid calls Doom, and Doom calls Thanos,
What?
and Thanos gets the gauntlet back. And I said them niggas can't even handle the gauntlet. So what I'm gonna do? It's up to me.
Man, this movie don't even make no fucking sense. How the hell is Batman?
I swear to God, I
supposed to
hate
be
Batman.
Don't talk to them. Talk to me.
Yeah, I hate Batman. Then you go ahead and tell me.
Change the setting. First,
The fuck?
I'm gonna even the stakes. Blade,
Blade.
I thought you never had.
Hey, hold on. What the fuck? What the fuck? What? I thought you never asked. What the fuck?
I thought you never asked.
Motherfucker said,
First, I'm gonna even the stakes.
even the states.
Blade, I thought you never asked.
And what about
Don't
Z?
move.
And I'll handle you.
Who the fuck is that?
Nigga, this shit still ain't gonna work. The three of y'all is not dropping us.
Let's see.
Batman, you're not filming this movie by yourself.
You're right. I'm done. That's why I got them with me. So shh.
No, we're getting involved.
Don't take that to heart, Batman.
Who you talking to?
I'm talking to you.
Bat, he ain't mean that, man. We having a good time, man. Come on.
listen.
You're not talking to
That small ass China.
Don't do this, man. Come on, you might be the cap of him, but you ain't the cap of me.
Bruce, stop.
Clark, don't say my name. Clark, I don't know these niggas. They can be out to get me. I got a contingency plan for every one of you. Fuck them cards and fuck you, Strange.
Listen, we can't fight them by ourselves. One of them beat all of Marvel by himself.
Thanos?
The other one beat all of DC. You know
That's
this.
Thanos,
and there's
though.
still a third one. Batman, you're the smartest nigga I know. Like, and you expect to beat all them with these niggas? Blade and Robin? Like, what? Yo.
Hold on.
Blade and Robin.
That's Blade.
Superman, speak up.
No, nothing. I was just trying to tell.
Keep Blade name out your mouth. Cause I can have you in this same position.
On God.
It's fine. I was just trying to talk to him real
Blade will
quick.
destroy
But look at
Superman.
what you're causing, Batman. Look at these people. They want to be in a movie.
Batman, please. I'm still in the CW.
See? We had the opportunity to walk out with $5 billion.
I'm gonna say my piece and I'm gonna leave.
Why ruin that?
I got that opportunity with the Batman too.
No, you didn't.
Hey, Bats, he ain't mean that. Bats, brother, he ain't mean that. Come on now.
It's all right. Just
Oh, my
come on.
God.
Just
Hey,
put
brother,
that down. Come on.
Like,
Put it down, man.
put that
Put that down. Just come on. Just
come on, Bats, please.
come on this side.
Please.
Work together.
Right on, brother. Right on.
Hold up. Now, Blade don't know too much about Detective Comics. But how many Green Lanterns supposed to be on the set?
See, now, Blake, you from Marvel, so you don't really know. There really is more than one Green Lantern. That's Hal Jordan, and I'm John Stewart.
See, Blade, you from Marvel. You don't really know. There really is more than one Green Lantern. See, that's Hal Jordan, and I'm John Stewart.
What? Green Lantern ain't never been
Like
like
Green Goblin.
What? Green Lantern ain't never been dark skinned.
Is he just repeating what I'm saying?
Is he just repeating what I'm saying?
Oh, this a flop. Come on, dude.
Oh, this a flop.
You can be in my movie, dude. Come on.
All right. Can we get back to the movie, please?
Too many complications. Tom,
No, it's actually quite.
Tony, please.
Is that Gambit?
Sorry, you need me a bit.
Tom, you got 718 million on your trailer. Come on.
Is that Gambit? What the fuck? Who the fuck?
I'm here.
Who the fuck is that?
A Nazi.
Static, it's me.
That's you.
Yes, sir.
What?
Oh, Cap, you don't understand. You are Marvel and I am DC, but I'm the original Spider-Man. You know, Spider-Man had New York, but I protected Ghana, a whole country.
What? What?
Who the fuck is Cap? Cap. Cap. Strange. So. I need this. Let's do this.
Static Shock. See, Static and Green Arrow earned $100 million during its box office run. The budget was $700 million. What the fuck? This shit is ass. This shit is ass, bro. What the fuck? Fucking flop of fucking doom. Flop of fucking doom.